right, let's see if we get this going again. The internet froze on my end, so I apologize for that. Join us back in here for Sweep the League. I'm waiting for a couple people to come back in. Again, apologies. The internet decided to freeze up a little bit there. Basically went down. So I don't know what happened there. Sometimes you have a little hiccup. We did have a power outage here in my house earlier today, so probably makes up the reason why the internet is kind of acting up right now. But we'll get back into it here. Appreciate everybody joining us again. Again, apologize for the intro. Apologize for the intro. It froze obviously for a little bit. So kind of what I was getting into WrestleMania. We're going to cover WrestleMania here this week. You got WrestleMania coming up this week. We're going to be doing STL 316. Definitely a preview show, probably a post show as well. So me, myself, Sith Lord Elias will knock that out here this week for you guys. So for anybody asking for WrestleMania topics, the White Sticks took over the show. LOL, yeah, it's we're gonna get into all that for you, Tim. Promise you on that. So, what we were talking about earlier before we froze was basically Nico. The NIL deal. We're gonna talk about what's going on with that situation, why it needs to be rewritten, as what we've been saying. It's a great idea, but there has to be a lot of red tape to take care of when it comes to NIL. They've got to make something happen with that as well. Also, NBA playoffs are underway. Well, the play-ins are, but also we've got playoffs starting this weekend. I took the Magic over the Hawks. You can check my X page. I posted it before the games even started. I've also got the Grizzlies over the Warriors tonight. Then we're going to see what happens. We'll make some more picks for tomorrow, but I think in tomorrow's games, you've got, Miami, Chicago. I'm taking Chicago in that one. I think it's the Sacramento Kings and the Dallas Mavericks. I'm taking the Mavericks on that. So those are my picks for the play-ins right now. Once we see what happens, we'll see who's going to fight for that 8th seed, and we'll get you more picks for that. So playoffs, we're going to be talking about that a little bit. Also, heading into the NBA offseason, it is, NBA stars on the move. Let's talk a little bit about where NBA stars might be going. Top of that, we've got a lot to talk about. Stephon Castle. People are getting upset because Stephon Castle did not get unanimous votes apparently for Rookie of the Year. Is that, enough to piss off Spurs fans? Well, survey says, yeah, it's enough to piss off Spurs fans. And, the thing is the fact that it's okay. You know what? We're going to save it. I want to save that little rant there of that. On top of everything else, imagine this: Magic Johnson, go back to when he was drafted. Do you know the backstory of how Magic could have been a Bull as a rookie? We're going to get into that later on in our throwback section of Sweep the League TV. Rudy Campos Jr. Again, it's going to be myself. Coach Jill might try to join in here in a little bit, but first and foremost, let's go ahead and bring this up here. We've got to get into what Jeff Garcia, good friend of the show, Jeff Garcia, and shout out to USOA, Chris Leha, as well as Sith Lord Elias. They decided to put the Spurs on trial tonight. In the X Spaces, they talk about USOA court is in session. They're talking about the Spurs. I was able to listen in for a little bit there. Great job by the guys, 100%. Love what I heard on there. Didn't make a whole, some guys didn't make a whole lot of sense on there, but hey, you want to vent, you want to rant about, what's going on. By all means, man, that's totally fine. There's no doubt about that. You can be so frustrated with the Spurs, which we're going to get into in a little bit as well. As USOA put the Spurs on court, we'll get a little bit into that here as well. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But Jeff Garcia had posted this earlier. Looks like Stephon Castle may not be the unanimous Rookie of the Year award winner, and that because Tim Bontemps of ESPN voted for Zachary Rees-Archier as Rookie of the Year. Gave him a first place vote. So I get the frustration. Stephon Castle, leading scorer for rookies, just was a more dominant rookie over everybody. And you could say maybe Jared McCain would have been, up there with Castle until he got injured and was out for the year. He plays for Philadelphia. You had the rise of Buzelis for the Chicago Bulls. I mean, they made it into the play-in. The Chicago Bulls are one, if not the hottest teams heading into the play-in / playoffs. So they're very, very dangerous. Kobe White is playing at it's by far an all-star level right now. Josh Giddey is playing at most improved player level right now. Both of those guys have the Bulls in contention to make the playoffs. Are they going to make noise against the Cleveland Cavaliers if they make the playoffs themselves? Probably not, but it's a hell of a run for the Bulls. But getting back to Zachary Risacher, here's that thing, man. Zachary's been consistent throughout the year. He doesn't have the stats, and I'm not defending Tim Bontemps on this at all. I'm not. He has the stats, but they're not better than what Stephon Castle has. Stephon Castle, head and shoulders, better stats overall. Now, if you talk about impact, again, Stephon Castle had a major impact for the San Antonio Spurs as a rookie. Spurs didn't get, 39 wins. They didn't get 40 wins. They didn't make the play-in. So, okay. If Tim wants to look at it, well, Zach helped them get to the play-in spot. I say, whoa. The West is a lot harder than the East is right now. Personal opinion, could it be a fact? I'll let you decide that. But personal opinion, the East right now, not so difficult. So if you want to use the Zachary got the Hawks and was a big part of the reason why the Hawks made it to the play-in, I'm not going to fault you for that. Definitely will not fault you for that. But I don't think it holds enough water to vote for Risacher to give him a first place vote. I don't think it holds that much water to do that at all. I think it's unanimous that Stephon Castle won. But at the end of the day, Spurs fans, does it really matter if Stephon Castle is not unanimous? I think what really matters is he's your rookie of the year. I mean, he's going to probably end up being your rookie of the year. That's all that matters. No matter if you win 40-0 or if you kick a field goal to win 27-26, it doesn't matter. You still won. And that's the part I get. Honestly, I tweeted at Jeff and I said, I reposted it. I said, it doesn't surprise me that they didn't give him a unanimous rookie of the year vote. I'm not surprised by it at all. People have their reasons, and I think the reason why Tim didn't was because of the fact that the Atlanta Hawks got in the play-in. Risacher was a pretty good reason, pretty damn good reason why they got into the play-in. So I'm not upset as, to why he voted for him. I don't get it. If you want to go based off of rookie of the year and impact and stats, I mean, yeah, that's Stephon Castle. I mean, Stephon Castle was putting up numbers, pretty frequently compared to Zachary Risacher. Magic just beat the Hawks. Okay, so I want to know on the play-ins right now. Why would Bontemps even think Risacher? Is it because of the postseason? And that's exactly what I said, Jeff. Shout out to Locked On Spurs. Exactly what I said. It's because I think because they got into the play-in spot. Remember, the Hawks at the beginning of the year were left for dead. They let go. They traded DeJounte Murray. It was just Trae Young. You got Risacher. The Hawks at the beginning of the year were left for dead. They were basically a team that was supposed to finish worse than where the Spurs were. Keep that in mind. Hawks came out and they started balling. They really did. They played really well enough to get into the play-in. There's a lot of factors as to why Tim decided I'm going to vote for Risacher for Rookie of the Year. I get that. I totally get that. But at the same time, I don't agree with it. I think he's, in my opinion, he's unanimous. But again, doesn't surprise me that he didn't get unanimous votes. I mean, it really doesn't. You know how voting is. I mean, you've got MLB voters that don't put certain people in the Hall of Fame, because of BS stuff that you hear. We don't know exactly why voters vote the way they vote. Goes for anything. But the numbers prove he is unanimous. You're right. I'm not arguing with the fact that he's not a unanimous. I've already said the numbers say he's a unanimous rookie of the year. But I can't speak for Tim. I can't speak for as to why he voted for him. That we can't speak on. If he ever decides to come out and say, then he decides to come out and say. I say it's probably because they got into the postseason. I mean, he probably had the same amount of impact as Stephon Castle did for the Spurs. Stat wise, I mean, if you want to go by numbers, hands down, Stephon Castle is rookie of the year unanimously. If you want to go by record wise, then you make that small itty bitty case for Reece Archier, and that might be the reason why Tim voted for Reece Archier for first place. Yeah, and I mean, if you want to go into stats, that's what I was going to bring up. Here are the stats. I mean, Steph Castle, 14 points per game. No other rookie averaged 14 points per game. Stephon Castle averaged 4 assists a game, better than Reece Archier. Rebounds, they are dead even, but Castle had 0.1 more rebounds than Reece Archier did all season. Blocks, damn near identical. 0.2 was the difference on blocks. I mean, steals, Stephon Castle is 0.2 better on steals. So the stats are there. I'm not arguing the fact that the stats don't say he's unanimous. He's my unanimous rookie of the year, but he's not to somebody else. And that's something that, again, gotta take it for what it's worth, man. Jacob Berg, he's the rookie of the year, dub is a dub. And that's what I'm saying. Does it really? I mean, I'm not coming at you, Jeff, at all. I mean, you bring it every single time. I love that. But Rudy, is called Rookie of the Year, not Rookie of the Month, March for Reece Archier. Again, it goes back to what the Hawks did, I think, for the season. They were left for dead at the beginning of the year. They end up making the plan. According to Tim Bontemps, maybe if we're trying to read his mind, maybe it meant something to him that they actually got into the plan. But you know what Jacob Eric said right now, a dub is a dub. So explain to me this. Why do we really have to bitch as Spurs fans because he didn't get 1 first place vote? He got 8 instead of 9. Are we at that point of fandom? Are we at that point of, well, you know what? It's not unanimous, so it doesn't count anymore. Because it's not unanimous, we're not going to count him as rookie of the year. It's bullshit. We're not going to do it. I mean, are we really that petty, Spurs fans? Are you really going to be that petty to think that because he got 8 out of 9 first place votes, that 1 vote, which he probably got second, I'm not going to lie, Tim probably got him at 2 for a second place vote. But are we that petty? Is it that comical that we make it a big deal because he wasn't unanimous? There are bigger holes on that Spurs team. There are bigger issues. There are way bigger problems than losing 1 out of 9 first place votes for Rookie of the Year. Congrats to Stephon Castle. I mean, hasn't been announced, but we're already pretty much crowning him as the Rookie of the Year. Who cares about the votes? As long as at the end of the day, the vote shows that he is your 2025 NBA Rookie of the Year, giving the Spurs back-to-back Rookie of the Years. That's my little rant on the whole, Stephon Castle thing right there. I don't think it's pettiness. I think it's shocking based on the stats. Castle outstarts Rishi. Again, you're not getting an argument out of me. I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that the stats aren't there. Based on stats, I mean, you're coming at me for this, and I'm saying he is unanimously my Rookie of the Year. I have him unanimous. That's my take on it. I cannot speak for Tim. If Tim has other reasons as to why he voted for Reece Archier, that's on him. But the pettiness is this. I mean, you've already got fans, that are complaining about the year in itself, which they have every right to, and it's okay. Truthfully, it doesn't bother me. I had him at 30 wins, 35 at the most at the beginning of the year. So it doesn't bother me because I already knew the season we were going to get. I already had that. But you've also have the things for, now you got rookie of the year. We got fans, want to basically, burn down the Frost Bank Center because they want to get to the front office. And again, I love the heat that they bring. I love it. It's amazing. And I've never ever argued with anyone's opinion on anything when it comes to the Spurs. I mean, unless you're just going, full blown bullshit, then I'll call you on it and we'll talk about it. But I don't ever question passion. I don't ever question, the reasons you have behind it, unless it's just total BS. I listen to it. I'll be like, okay, do I have to agree with it? I don't have to agree with everything. I'm a big boy. I can agree with my own things. I can figure out stuff on my own. But that's the thing, is we can't allow one vote. I mean, it can't really matter that much. One vote for unanimous. It really cannot matter that much. He's a rookie of the year. That should be celebrated. Stand by for the rookie of the year dual auto cards. Do you think it is also recency bias? Reese Sarchier had an impressive March, which may have caught up some eyes. I mean, Buzella's had a very good closing part of the year, and he didn't get, he probably got third place, maybe a second place votes here and there. Reese Sarchier didn't have that year that Stephon Castle had. Personally, again, I think with Tim, it was, I mean, well, let's look at it again. Let's look at it. Stephon's stats are better than Zach's. No doubt about that. 2.1 points more per game. So scoring, he was way more productive. Rebounds, dead even, pretty much. Assists, damn near 3 more for Castle a game. Blowing him out of the water right now on the 3 main categories. The 3 main categories right there. So Tim looks at that, well, okay. Steals per game, Steph wins. Blocks per game, that goes to Zach. You go through all of these stats, Stephon Castle is that guy. He's the man. He is. He's unanimous to me. But what Tim saw, we don't know. Maybe he felt that. Put it this way. I mean, look at it like this. Maybe he felt that without Reese Sarchier, the Hawks don't make the playoffs or the play-in. I don't know. I mean, I love to argue the fact, and I love to try to get to the point and to the bottom of it. But I have no idea why Tim voted for Zach. If you go by stats, I mean, clearly Stephon Castle's number 1. If you go by record, well, you can't argue. Numbers don't lie. You can't argue that Zach has a better record with the Hawks, where Stephon doesn't. They're a lottery team. So which way did Tim vote? Did Tim vote because of the stats, where he felt that Zach had a bigger impact for the Hawks? Or did he vote in the fact of, well, the Hawks are in the play-in, so I'm going to give it to him because he was a focal point and a key part of them making the play-in? I have no idea. I'd love to know, but I have no idea. And again, I don't fault anybody for voting the way that they do. They have their own opinion, they have their own prerogative. Just because they do it doesn't mean I have to agree with it. Rudy, do you think next year's rookie year's hands down flag or someone else could rise up? It's definitely going to be a toss up. It'll definitely be a toss up. So on that topic right there, it really depends where Cooper Flag goes. If he goes to Washington, he's going to have stats, but that boy's going to get hurt. That boy's going to be tired. You're going to see him hit a rookie wall. Cooper Flag, and again, generational is not a word that I throw around. I cringe at knowing that, you know, people call Victor generational. I mean, I really do. So I'm not approving of the generational tag that they've given Cooper Flag. Definitely not. So I'll say this, if he goes to Washington, he's going to put up numbers, but it's going to be very hard fought numbers. He's probably going to get hurt because, I mean, he's going to have to do everything. He's going to get tired. He's never played an 82 game season. No, none of these guys have played NBA basketball, more physical. That's funny that I'm even saying that, but it is technically a little bit more physical than college, faster pace, more wear and tear on the body for travel. So to say that it's hands down Cooper Flag Rookie of the Year, I'm going to say no, not right now. You still got guys that could come up. VJ Edgecombe, you know, depending where he goes, that could be a good one. For all we know, a guy like Ace Bailey can end up in Charlotte running with LaMelo Ball if he's still there, and Brandon Miller. So, I mean, he could put up some really good numbers for Charlotte. We don't know. Dylan Harper going, you know, to a certain team. We really don't know. It depends on where these guys land in the draft in order for us to say, yeah, they're legit rookie of the years. They're candidates. Right now, Cooper Flag's probably the odds-on favorite to go put any bets on to be rookie of the year. But for me, it depends on where he goes. I think if he has a team, if he goes to a team now, if Cooper Flag goes to Charlotte, I like his chances there. I like his chances there of being rookie of the year. He has a good running core there with LaMelo and Brandon Miller. And to say I'm a Cooper Flag hater, I mean, I'm not going to come down on you too hard, but I mean, you got to quit with the BS on that. I'm not a Cooper Flag hater. I know where he went to school. I don't like the school. The school can, you know, can just be gone for all I care. But I'm not a Cooper Flag hater. If you really think I am, then, you know, that's totally your opinion. But Cooper Flag, again, he's not generational. He's not a generational talent. If you feel like I'm being disrespectful because he's supposed to be generational, he's not generational. Go look at the video. Go look at it. Wait, is it a certain he will enter the draft? Has Flag committed to the draft? According as of right now, from what I understand, he's not committed to the draft. He really hasn't. He's not committed to the draft. Not just yet. But, I mean, I really feel like he's probably going to end up committing regardless. I mean, you can stay at Duke and you can go and get, you know, all this NIL money, but you're just delaying where, you know, you're just delaying where you go. And even at that, who's to say that he goes back to Duke and doesn't get a career-ending injury? It's basketball. Anything can happen. Not necessarily career-ending, but if some kind of injury happens where it takes him out for the year, then you've got rehab. I mean, you probably want more guaranteed money. So that's probably the reason why I think he goes right away into the NBA draft, gets that number one pick in, gets the number one pick money, starts playing with the big boy. I mean, you saw him compete. You saw him compete against Team USA. He played great, played phenomenal against Team USA. So he can play with the big boys. But again, he's surrounded by college all-stars. He's surrounded by guys that can play. A lot of these guys are going to be, you know, starters on teams in the league. Not going to Washington where you've got to put up with what, Jordan Poole? I mean, you have Alexander Sarr there, but I mean, okay. There's no help around him in Washington. So who knows if he commits? I think he does commit. Won't find out until maybe the end of the month or next month he will announce. Yeah, exactly. It's going to take a while before he announces. Speaking of NIL, looking back at it, it's been a huge mistake for college sports. That's something we're going to get into here in just a little bit is the NIL talk here. Of course, Nico for Tennessee really doing a number on the Vols as a quarterback. How does it affect everything else that goes on? Jeff brought it up. We're going to bring it up now in the next segment. This is Rudy Campos Jr. for Sweep the League. When we get back, NIL talk. Also, WNBA draft was held last night. Paige Beckers went number one. NBA stars on the move. What else do we've got? We've got NBA playoffs. We'll try to get into all this as much as we can here on the way back on the second half of Sweep the League. If you are just joining us, we had a little power glitch earlier in the show, so we did an intro on the first set. We had to actually start the show up again. So appreciate you joining us here at Sweep the League. Rudy Campos Jr. will be back. Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting. Building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
Hi, I'm Dr. Marianne Pinkston, and I have the podcast, The Better Life with Dr. Pinkston. You can catch me every Saturday as I air a new show. You can follow me on drpbetterlife.com for all of the links and information.
Here's what you didn't know about the drama surrounding Tennessee football and their former quarterback, Nico Iamaleava. News broke on Thursday that contract negotiations were happening between Nico and Tennessee football in order for him to return, but at a higher value. He was making around $2.4. The family of Nico was seeking $4 million. That eventually led to, on Friday, him not showing up to practice, and that snowballed even further as he entered the transfer portal and will no longer be playing for Tennessee in 2025. But what's now new to the situation is that A to Z Sports' Ryan Roberts reported that this whole thing has been happening for months. During the winter transfer portal period, Nico's father, and his agent and his representative went to Tennessee football and claimed that they demanded that they should have a better offensive line going into the 2025 season. They weren't satisfied with the development of the roster and the offensive line around Nico, so that led to them asking for more money. In the last couple of weeks, though, these negotiations were happening behind Nico's back, and even at one point going behind the back of Nico's father, and it was simply just the agents trying to find out what value could be found at other schools, and also seeing if more money could be coming from Tennessee. This caused the relationship between Josh Heupel and Nico to completely sour to the point where Nico is no longer going to be playing for the team. Now, where Nico ends up, it's uncertain because they reached out to Oregon. There was no significant interest. They reached out to UCLA and USC, and while they were interested, they weren't going to give them the $4 million that they were seeking. So right now, where Nico lands is completely uncertain.
All right, welcome back to Sweep the League. Rudy Campos Jr. here, Coach Gio and Derek Irvin. Derek is doing some AAU basketball stuff right now, so he's going to be in and out pretty frequently He should be coming back hopefully soon, but again, he's doing AAU basketball right now, so he's got his thing. Coach just should be back tomorrow. Just got a text from him a little while ago that he's got some stuff going on right now, so he's busy with family, so he should be back tomorrow. But shout out to MCS General Contracting, the best in the business, the umbrella company for Iron Refocused Radio, for Sweep the League Network. The reason why we are 24/7 now is because of MCS General Contracting, the best in the business. Call Chris Leha today. They will take care of you first. They will take care of you right the first time, every time, 100% backed by us here at Sweep the League. Again, the reason why you are getting 24/7 content from Sweep the League Network and Iron Refocused Radio Network is because of MCS General Contracting. They build a better San Antonio one project at a time. Contact Leha and the boys out there. MCS General Contracting. Get into some of the questions that we have here. Speaking of the NIL, Jeff was wondering, looking back, has it been a huge mistake for college sports? Yes. When I say yes, it has affected a lot of college sports. You've seen coaches, Nick Saban, kind of retire, go away. You've seen a lot of these other coaches just say they don't want to deal with NIL anymore. Bill Belichick is taking over the UNC job. Whether he stays there remains to be seen. We know a lot can happen between now when the season starts. So he's got that $1 million buyout for UNC, but I believe it's July 1st, if I'm not mistaken, when that $1 million buyout just kind of goes away. So that's right around the time NFL training camps really get going. So the possibilities of Bill maybe being a head coach in the NFL, if someone's looking for it, could be possibly good right there. So we'll see what happens. But you know what we just showed with Nico there for Tennessee, it's crazy. I mean, he's making $2+ million for, that year that he was at Tennessee, wanted to get $4 million. Apparently, one of the reports was Dan Lanning kind of informed Tennessee that Nico was shopping around for a deal, and Josh Heupel basically caught wind of it from Dan Lanning, and you know what? They said, Nico, appreciate everything you've done for us here, but we're going to have to let you go. We're going to let you be on your way. That's the problem with NIL, is you are allowing players to dictate how much they want, when they want, and from who they want it from. I applaud Tennessee for this move. I applaud Dan Lanning for making wind of it and letting people know about it, if that is the case here. If that is the case. We have to remember, this is reports here. The fact of the matter is the fact that Nico does want $4 million. Tennessee's not going to give it to him. Where does he go? Well, he wants to try Oregon. Oregon's not interested. As mentioned, UCLA, USC, interested, but we're not paying you $4 million. Nico is not worth $4 million. Definitely not. Is there a team out there that would pay $4 million for Nico? No, there shouldn't be. If there is, you're talking about a team that's very desperate. Nico, he's not Cam Ward. Nico's not Arch Manning. He's not Kyle McCord from Syracuse. Hell, I'm going to throw him in here, even though he's not a really good draft pick, and he should probably be drafted in the late rounds, but he's not Shedeur Sanders. He's not worth $4 million, period. He's not. So the thing is you've kind of screwed yourself on that. Trying to get a deal somewhere else, trying to see if you can get $4 million from Tennessee, the school that's taking care of you. NIL is bad right now. What needs to happen? Let's reiterate. Let's talk about it again. Let's beat a dead horse here, because every time that we talk about it, we say the same thing. Contracts have to be made and they have to be kept. Commitments have to be kept. Player comes in, 3-year deal, $2.5 million a year, $2 million a year, $1 million a year. It doesn't matter. 3-year deal. That means you are locked into a program for 3 years. If you want to transfer, I'm okay with one transfer, but it has to come at a price. Every contract should have a buyout clause that has to either be paid by the player or it has to be paid by the school you are going to. That eliminates people transferring every 5 minutes, whether it be basketball, whether it be football. NIL contracts need to happen and they need to be taken serious. I even saw one comment on TikTok saying that players should not make more than $250,000. You can make less, but the better ones shouldn't make more than $250,000. I think that's low. I think you draw enough crowds in football to where you can pay, way upwards of more than that. But I kind of ask, this right here. NBA players, and I think NFL, maybe not NFL players, but I know NBA players for a fact, when they're drafted, they are set on a number. That is it. They can't go any more than that. That's the number that is set by the NBA for those draft picks. NIL needs to make a number that is set. They got to set a number. You can't have schools like UTSA recruit talent, get talent, pay talent, lose talent to bigger schools for more money. These contracts are the reason why a team like UTSA can be good for years. Because, hey, player A, you've led UTSA to XYZ Bowl. UTSA finishes 23rd, 22nd ranked in the country. They win their bowl game. They bring a bowl title to San Antonio. Player A decides, you know what? I've won at UTSA. I'm getting calls from Oklahoma. I'm getting calls from Texas A&M. I'm getting calls from OSU, Michigan. I'm getting calls from this. I'm getting calls from that. So then you screw Jeff Traylor over. You've already had a successful season. And then what? You transfer out. But with a contract, it doesn't happen as easily. Players think twice. Well, I signed with UTSA for 3 years for $4 million. You accepted it. That's the thing. These are not kids anymore. They're adults. They graduated high school. If you don't like the deal, don't take the damn deal. Go somewhere else. If you want to see, it's like shopping for a car. If you like the car, if you like UTSA, the car, but you don't like the price, go see if you can get that same car somewhere else. You don't have to accept it. And I'm talking about contracts. But contracts need to be had because it'll make players think twice about transferring, knowing that, hey, I signed 3 years with UTSA. I'm getting, $2.5 million for my entire contract. Okay. But if I transfer, I've got to pay a penalty. I've got to pay the transfer penalty. What is my buyout? Oh, okay. So I've got to pay back $450,000 in order for me to transfer out. Now, if you are really that good, Alabama, all these other teams will come in and say, we'll pay that $400,000 to get you to come to Alabama. Then you're fine. You're fine right there. So Traylor loses a player, but he gains NIL money in return to help him recruit again. Transfer portal, bad. I hate that you have, like I said, I hate that you have 9-year players and 7-year players. You know, people, these guys are playing ball and, you know, they're in there for 7 years and 6 years and 9 years. That's terrible. That's terrible. Contracts need to happen. And yeah, the mistake is that it's not a mistake that they're paying the players. They deserve it. But the biggest mistake for NIL, Jeff, is that they don't have contracts, that they haven't figured out how to make it flawless. And it's pretty easy. Who knows why they can't do it? Rudy, your thoughts on Nico Harrison crapping on the Mavericks fans again today, saying he would do it again and quadruple down on his decision. I mean, trades happen, they happen. Nico's going to say that he's not going to say he made a mistake. As you can tell, you know, put it this way. Luka's gone, goes to LA. If Kyrie is not injured, if Anthony Davis doesn't get injured in his first game as a Maverick, the Mavericks are probably, and again, you can go to fellow players, fellow, you know, creators and everything that study the game. They would tell you that the Mavericks are probably a top 5 minimum team in the West with a healthy Kyrie and a healthy Anthony Davis. Nico's getting crapped on, yes, because of the trade. But you can't crap on the guy for injuries that happen. If that's the case, then, well, they still do it anyway. But if that's the case, Spurs fans should be, you know, basically they shit on Brian Wright anyway, but just keep shitting on him because people got hurt. I mean, I get the trade shouldn't have happened. And a small part of me says, yeah, I can see why it was made. There's a lot of reasons behind the scenes that probably will never come out. We don't know. Probably there was some stuff that happened. That'll never come out. Nothing bad. But who knows? Ownership may have said they don't want to pay that much money for Luka. You know, if you're giving out max contracts and you still have Kyrie, you're going to give him more money. I mean, max contracts, they really put you in a bind when it comes to signing better players to help you get to that next level. And again, I'm not making excuses for Nico or the Mavericks front office for that, but I mean, you got to figure out where you want to tie your money up. And maybe they felt Luka wasn't the player they want to tie it up in, knowing that it would be him and then they have to go fill in other roster spots. Derek Lively is going to be coming up for a contract extension. Probably going to have to re-sign PJ Washington. I mean, you know, I'm not worried about Klay Thompson, but Kyrie is going to be coming up for, you know, another contract. So, you know, money starts adding up left and right. And who knows? I mean, we really don't know. But Mav fans, if Mav fans want to crap on Nico again, or Nico wants to crap on Mav fans, that's all them right there. I mean, Nico, he's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to stick to his guns. He's going to believe that trade made 100%, you know, correct, and it was the right move to make. He's never going to say it was a wrong move. So, I don't know. Mavs fans probably think that, you know, he did it on purpose or whatever. I have no idea. It's very, very hard to say. It's him saying, Jeff, I think NIL is good because a lot of players in school stay in school instead of turning pro. It necessarily doesn't keep kids in school a lot. It keeps the kids that are not going to make it to the pros stay in school a lot longer until they kind of have to graduate out. But yeah, I mean, I see that point, Tim. I think colleges get rid of the spring transfer portal. They should only do it one time, transfer portal. And I think they should transfer just one time, period, in their career. The transferring going from everywhere and anywhere at every time, that's got to go. Gio has a lot of NIL money. That's why he takes time off. Yeah, Gio gets paid really well here. Do you think the Mavs management will fire Nico? Good question. I'm going to say probably not. I don't think they fire him. I think they go into next season and kind of see how that season starts off. You have a healthy Kyrie Irving. a healthy Anthony Davis, again, PJ Washington, Derek Lively. You've got enough guys there, to try to, right the ship for the Dallas Mavericks. So I don't think they fire him right away, but I think if they start off really slow next year, then you probably start to see, a lot of chatter, and probably Nico does get fired at the beginning of next season. Players transfer too much. Yeah, that needs to stop. They do. Players transfer all the damn time. So, that's the talk that we got on NIL here. I wanted to give the WNBA a shout out real quick here. WNBA had their draft last night. Paige Beckers went 1, Malanga went 2. Here's the videos for them.
In the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Paige Beckers. With the second pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Seattle Storm select Dominique Malunga from France.
Well, Dominique.
All right, congratulations to all the ladies that were drafted last night to the WNBA. It's going to be another great season for the WNBA. Paige Beckers going to Dallas at number 1, Malanga going at number 2. She's going to be a problem in Seattle for a lot of players. A very athletic big. Tony Parker considers her the Victor Wembanyama of the league right now. That's how talented that he feels she is. Also, a move last night that I really, really liked. I was trying to follow Hailey Van Lith to see where she would end up. She ended up in Chicago, former teammate of Angel Reese at LSU. But that Chicago team, they got really good with Hailey Van Lith, Camila Cardoza, Angel Reese, also Kennedy Chandler. They look good. Haley's going to be doing a lot of pick and rolls with Angel Reese and Cardoza. So I really like what Chicago did. I'm hoping that they can, make a little bit of noise. Angel Reese, again, not a huge fan of hers on the court right now. I mean, of course, everybody talks bad and all that. She's not the greatest shooter, obviously. Great rebounder. Never take that away from her. Great rebounder. But in pick and roll situations, easier shots for her. Hailey Van Lith, running that pick and roll with Angel Reese and with Cardoza, it's going to be good for Chicago. So congratulations again to all the WNBA ladies that were drafted last night. It's going to be another fun season. The Golden State Valkyries take the court this year. So that's going to be fun as well. WNBA season going to be right around the corner. Playoffs starting now for the NBA. So WNBA is right around the corner here. Again, congratulations to all the ladies out there. Where do you think WNBA will come back to San Antonio? If Project Marvel goes through, I think you have a better chance of getting a WNBA team here. But not with current situations, not with the way everything currently is. There's no way that you get a WNBA team here. Reason why is because of the support, man. If you bring another WNBA team back to San Antonio, you're relying on the Frost Bank Center to be not completely sold out, but to at least be half full, basically. Makes no sense. Tourists that come to San Antonio, they're downtown. They like to visit downtown. They're going to be downtown. So Project Marvel makes a lot of sense. If you want to bring another WNBA team to San Antonio, that is a big seller, because now not only do you have the locals, a lot of people don't want to drive to the Frost Bank Center. I mean, I know it's not super far. It's kind of close to downtown, but the area it's in, it's not a great area of San Antonio. They did nothing with that area. So again, putting it downtown, if you have Project Marvel, you're already making it a tourist spot. It's, tourist capital is downtown for San Antonio. So if you build it, then the possibilities of adding a WNBA team back to San Antonio, as well as another hockey team, is probably more likely to happen if it's built in downtown San Antonio. So Yeah, good question there, man. Also, one more thing before we go. We're about ready to jump off here. Got to get into this real quick. I want to share this with you. We didn't get into the playoffs tonight. We'll get into more playoff talk tomorrow and NBA stars where they go in the off season. We got Jeff in here. Have you seen more early polling showing residents are not they want vote for Marvel? Should we be worried? I have no vote anymore. I don't live in San Antonio, so personally, yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to say. I think it's worrisome if they don't build it. But at the end of the day, even though San Antonio residents don't feel like it's necessary to vote for Project Marvel, the deal will get done somehow. I'm almost confident. You'll probably see these investors for the San Antonio Spurs that have buku dollars step in and maybe cover half of Project Marvel, City cover half. So there's going to be a negotiation tactic here where it's going to have to happen where you're going to vote for this, vote for that. So I think half of it might be covered. I think it gets done. I don't think, here's the thing. I think Project Marvel gets done, but I think it gets done in pieces. I think they build an arena. Then they kind of maybe upgrade the dome. Then they maybe start working on that entertainment area, but I don't think it's done all at one time. Again, the couple $1 billion that they talked about it costing by the time it gets voted on, by the time, if it passes, by the time they actually start that material, all those costs, it's probably going to double. Easily just going to double. So it's going to cost a lot more money. So San Antonio residents, it's all on you. If you want a Project Marvel, go out there and vote when they do have the vote for it. And you determine on what you want. Does it affect the Spurs? Who knows? I mean, we really can't say. We really don't know. The Spurs haven't come out and give anybody an ultimatum. Normally you hear teams, Oakland A's, Tampa Bay, a lot of these teams, they make ultimatums. You either build it or we're leaving. And they end up building it at the end of the day. So hopefully it doesn't come to that tactic right there. Before we go, I'll share a quick video here. Magic Johnson, imagine him with the Bulls. Do you know the backstory of how Magic almost got drafted by the Bulls? Here it is.
Our fans told us, call heads.
Let's have Chicago's call.
Chicago calls heads.
Chicago calls heads.
In New York, the commissioner flipped the coin.
For the Lakers, this was that one guy that was going to change the destiny of this franchise. And when somebody gives you a nickname, Magic, what do you expect?
They'll now make the flip. Tails it is.
In the offseason, some Laker prayers are answered.
Los Angeles has first rights to Magic now.
Okay, so next season, I'll be today I'll be applying for hardship. I'll be turning pro.
It is now exactly 12 noon. The draft is officially open. I want to welcome all the fans that are going to join in and help make this draft a success. The first pick is the Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers select Earvin Magic Johnson, Michigan State, 6'8", 200 pounds.
Earvin Magic Johnson of Michigan State was chosen by the Los Angeles Lakers today as the #1 pick in the National Basketball Association draft.
And there you have it. For those of y'all that don't know, Magic Johnson could have been a Chicago Bull back in the 79-80 season when he was drafted. Crazy, huh? How a coin flip determined Magic going either to Chicago or going to LA. Lakers ended up winning the coin flip, and as you can tell, history shows they were a very dominant team with Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Showtime was born when Magic was drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers, but again, it's the butterfly effect. Had that coin flip gone in favor of the Bulls, Magic Johnson would be a Bull, which means where would Michael Jeffrey Jordan have gone? Lakers weren't bad enough, I don't think, to be in the Jordan sweepstakes that I'm aware of. I mean, you still had Jabbar, so they weren't going to be that bad. Where would he have ended up? Crazy, because the Bulls wouldn't have been bad enough to get Michael Jordan. I mean, hell, who knows? Maybe they could have. Maybe it could have been a David Robinson type of year where he gets injured. Magic gets injured. Bulls hit the lottery. And think about that. If the Bulls are bad and they stay at 3 or they go to 1, look how history is rewritten. Does Hakeem Olajuwon become a Chicago Bull and teams up with Magic Johnson at the time? Do they stay at 3 and take Michael Jordan to be the running mate of Magic Johnson? Are they even in the top part of the draft because Magic is helping the Bulls dominate? Butterfly effect, NBA butterfly effect, the what if universe. That's what we go here with Sweep the League. That's how we end tonight's show, is the what if universe. What if Magic was ended up drafted by the Chicago Bulls because of the coin flip? Coin flip determines a lot of things in life. You know what? From basic, who takes the ball out, in the NFL, who receives the kickoff, all the way to, well, now Magic Johnson. You believe the Ewing draft was rigged, cold envelope? I'm going to go down that path of, I think the Ewing draft was rigged. I think New York needed a big time player at the time. Patrick Ewing was the big time player at the time. So I think the Knicks got it. Obviously, it was rigged for them on that sense right there. But again, I mean, could you truthfully say that maybe the Spurs draft was rigged a little bit when Victor was drafted by the Spurs? I mean, LeBron going to Cleveland just so happens to win, the number 1 pick the year that Cleveland or Ohio's son, LeBron James, is available in the NBA draft. Come on, man. NBA knows what it's doing, right? NBA knows what it's doing. Shout out to everybody that joined us here tonight. Appreciate the love that we get here on Sweep the League. Be sure to go to our YouTube page, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button. Shout out to MCS General Contracting, the umbrella sponsor for Iron Refocus Radio and Sweep the League Network, bringing to you all the content 24/7, any time of day, all time to the night. Doesn't matter when, Monday or Sunday through Saturday. Doesn't matter. You're getting content every single moment of the day because of MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of Sweep the League. And shout out to Coach Gio. Hopefully he'll be back on tomorrow. Shout out to Derek Curvin, as well as he's doing his AAU basketball tour right now, coaching a bunch of AAU kids out there. Shout out to Derek for that. And also, major shout out to all of our producers that we have here on Sweep the League Network, the hard work that they do, and all the content creators that we have here on Sweep the League Network. We appreciate everything that you guys and girls are doing for us here. So for the entire Sweep the League Network, this is Rudy Campos Jr. Until we sweep the league again tomorrow, we'll see you later, knuckleheads.